Welcome, folks. We're very excited to have you here for a lively conversation today on bioregionalism in practice, weaving the local solutions in a global context. We have a very packed agenda today, so we'll get started pretty quickly. We wanted to have each person add your name, your bioregion, and your organization in the chat. And we'll share that at the end of this webinar. This webinar is brought to you by Be the Earth Foundation and Regenerosity and our trust-based philanthropy community of practice. And we'll get started.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Renata, I'm from Be the Earth Foundation, and we are a family foundation that is actually a hybrid organization that works with impact investing through philanthropy and all different financial models in between under the same vision, that is to nurture a world that serves all living beings. So we have been experimenting different financial models and partnerships and programs, events, transformative experiences that bring together people that are doing their part towards a ecocentric economy rather than a wild capitalism. And at the same time, that through our programs and partnerships and pool funds, we reach very grassroots in a trust-based, debureaucratized, and decentralized participatory way. We're also working with the sector and other wealth holders, decision makers, wealth managers, and foundation leaders to kind of grow our tribe of people that are wanting to innovate and challenge the traditional way of doing philanthropy and investments. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm pretty sure, this bioregionalism approach is part of the solution to get to this ecocentric and localized solutions that we are craving. Hope you enjoyed the talk.
So I'm Faith Flanagan. I'm the 360 lead of Regenerosity. I'm joined by Ruth Andrade, who's the chair of the board, and Jackie Kearney, who is our partnership lead for Regenerosity. And Regenerosity is a nonprofit resourcing grassroots leaders in Brazil, East Africa, and India to protect and restore their territories. We believe that communities collaborating at a bioregional scale are key to addressing the intersecting crises of climate change, social inequality, and environmental degradation. Yet traditional philanthropy often overlooks the potential of grassroots organizations to lead the change that's needed. Regenerosity was founded to address this gap, promoting a new approach to philanthropy that's trust-based, community-centered, and focused on long-term bioregional impact. We act as a living bridge through innovative grant making, capacity building, and sharing stories at the intersection of shifting livelihoods, increasing biodiversity, and creating food sovereignty and building resilience from the ground up. One example of our work is through our Blossom program. We're facilitating mutual support and learning by supporting a cohort of 4 indigenous organizations in Brazil working to restore the Caatinga dryland region of Brazil. This webinar series is also an example in partnership of Be the Earth of our Nurture Funder Community of Practice program, where we work to promote trust-based philanthropy. We'll share a link to Regenerosity in the chat, and Jackie can share a little bit more about the Nurture Funder Community of Practice.
Hi everyone, I'm Jackie and I'm honoured to be part of the Root Circle facilitating this community of practice. So for a bit more background, the Nurture Funder Community of Practice has been stewarded by Be the Earth and Regenerosity, as we've just heard, for the past 4 years. We're a global network of funders committed to putting trust-based and regenerative principles into action. So Nurture brings together wealth holders, foundation staff, philanthropic advisors and intermediaries who want to reimagine how capital flows in ways that are more equitable, responsive, and rooted in relationships. As a community, we embrace a collaborative and learning by doing approach. We host retreats, webinars like this one, case clinics, and we collaborate on pooled funds to support each other in growing and evolving our practices. So if this is the first time you've come across us, if you are a funder or part of a foundation and you're not yet part of this community, and you're looking for a space to connect, reflect, and take action, we warmly welcome you to join us and to learn more. So we'll share more links in the chat.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ruth Andrade, and I'm the board chair for Regenerosity. I also work for Lush Cosmetics, and I've been part of the environmental movement for a long time, too long now. And I'm super excited about today. It's really cool because it has been my dream for a long time to host our friends that are going to be given the main presentation today. And we know that many conversations. So we were thinking, what is the role of Regenerosity within this space? And we thought that we would use this webinar to highlight voices from the Global South, as well as different approaches and practices, including, organizations and folks at different stages of growth in this beautiful movement. And there is no single definition of bioregionalism. It's a living practice, and it's a verb, not a noun. And hence, often we use the word bioregioning. So bioregioning is a practice. It's a developmental practice, a living practice, rather than a theory. And it must be rooted in community, but also connected in solidarity with global movements. This is also something that I'm often bringing to these spaces, that I think it's amazing that we organize from place, sourced from place, but really attentive to global imperatives and in solidarity with larger movements. And simply put, it's about weaving local cultures, local governance, local ecologies, economies towards one vision, which is the flourishing of all life. But to really ground this in very pragmatic, real practice, we're going to begin with hearing the story of an amazing Venezuelan collective that have super advanced place-sourced and human community practices, and can show us how a distributed governance can support human thriving. And by the way, super interesting, when we were doing the prep call, they told us that they had never heard the word bioregionalism. So they were also interested in learning and getting to know what it was about. So yeah, really amazing that, as I said before, it's a practice, not a definition. And after the presentation, we're going to jump into a panel discussion with a very special group of guests, and hopefully have time for a few questions. But first, I want to present the Seco Sesola team. And Seco Sesola is a 57-year-old network of cooperatives, as I said, from Venezuela, practicing solidarity economics, mutual care, and community self-organization. And Seco Sesola received the Right Livelihood Award in 2022. This is the alternative, often called the Alternative Nobel Prize, for their work. And the best definition I have heard about them is when they said, we are a conversation. They are a conversation, and they speak as a collective. So we couldn't get a whole presenter. We actually got many members of the community coming to have this conversation with us. They're helping over 100,000 low-income families across 7 states. But I'm going to stop here and let them come and share their stories of how they have developed and growth to support so many community needs, even at time of crisis. So without further ado, let's hear from Seco Sesola.
Thank you, folks. Gracias, amigos. Qué bueno que están todos ahí. Y vamos a empezar la
Vamos
presentación.
a empezar con la vuestra presentación.
Yeah. Muy bien.
Adelante.
Sí. Y Juliana will translate to English. Thank you so much for coming. Muchas gracias.
Comenzamos.
Hi.
Nos fuimos.
Hola, Desde acá
Hola, hi. Can you hear us?
nos encontramos en nuestra red cooperativa Secosesola. Es grato
We
esta,
are the Secosesola Collective,
es grato esta oportunidad que tenemos el día de hoy.
and thanks for this opportunity for presenting our projects over to you all.
Hoy nos encontramos 7 compañeros de acá de la
Today
organización.
we are here with 7 of our colleagues to present the project over to you.
Estamos acá en Barquisimeto, Estado Lara, en la región centro-occidental.
So we are in the central area of Venezuela.
Acá participamos alrededor de 50 organizaciones.
We are
comunitarias,
around 50 organizations
en
working
conjunto con
together,
7 estados federales.
and we are spreading around 7 states, federal states in Venezuela.
Para nosotros es una experiencia muy bonita el día de hoy.
Today is a beautiful experience for us.
Bueno, nuestro comienzo principal fue nos organizamos primordialmente por cooperativas de funeraria al principio.
So we have started with funeral cooperatives on the territory. This is how our project began.
Principalmente nos organizamos en conjuntos con 10 cooperativas con una totalidad de 1,300 registros. Fue nuestro comienzo.
And we have started with 1,300 workers at the time. So that was our beginning, the beginning of our story.
Hoy en día podemos decir que hemos llegado a 33,000 registros funerarios.
And today we have reached over 33,000 funeral cooperatives around Venezuela.
El principio fue el 17 de diciembre de 1967.
The first day was on the 17th of December of 1957.
Bueno, hoy en día hemos llegado a organizarnos con nuestros propios servicios funerarios, desde una parte de transporte, salas velatorias, nuestra misma elaboración de urnas.
Nowadays, we are self-sufficient on the transporting of the death families, and also we have our own coffin building processes, and also our own oratory services.
Bueno, y le damos gracias a Dios hoy en día, y también tenemos lo que es servicio de salud.
And thanks for God that we do have our health system self-organized as well.
Donde nos garantizamos un servicio propio y a la comunidad también de diferentes consultas.
So we guarantee all medical services and for our community and ourselves.
Es una experiencia muy bonita. Tenemos nuestras relaciones en conjunto, tenemos lo que es consultas de medicina general, pediatría, ginecología, entre otras especialidades.
Nowadays, we are very happy because we self-organize our pediatrical and gynecological services and other services for our communities.
Además, también tenemos medicina alternativas, ¿verdad? Muy importante, como son lo que es terapia, acupuntura, fisiatría.
And we also work with alternative medicines that we guarantee some other services of therapeutical and different consultancies.
También tenemos atención de quirófano, ¿verdad? Y realizamos nuestras propias intervenciones propias y abiertas a las comunidades en precios solidarios en lo que son hospitalizaciones y cirugías y un poco más, pues.
We also do have surgery services, and we do have specialized consultants that come and also work with our community together.
Hoy en día hemos llegado a la totalidad de la atención de 270,000 personas manejadas en atención de consultas al año, 270,000.
So today we do have an annual number of 270 people going through our services.
270,000.
Hola, buenos días.
Hi, good morning.
Mi nombre es Jorge Luis.
My name is Jorge Luis.
Tengo 4 años aquí en la organización. Y bueno,
I have been working for 4 years in the organization.
voy a hablarle un poco del apoyo mutuo, ¿verdad?
I'm going to speak about mutual support.
Es una parte fundamental de lo que es la red Secosesola,
It is a fundamental part of Secosesola,
donde allí nos reunimos tanto compañeros de las ferias y compañeros agricultores,
where we work together with people from the fair and markets and agricultural companions.
Allí llevamos todas las necesidades, ¿verdad?, de la organización.
We work through all needs and necessities of the organizations together.
Necesidades como lo que es la compra de un camión, la compra de semillas, compras de abono y esa autogestión. Allí consideramos la factibilidad de nosotros como autogestión conseguir los recursos necesarios para obtenerlo.
We self-managed all of the needed resources, like from buying a truck, getting seeds, and also the manure for the agricultures. So, and it's all self-organized and self-managed locally.
Para mantenernos en todo este tiempo, dejamos un porcentaje de lo que es las ventas de feria.
So to keep on our incomes, we have organized a saving plan to get throughout economically throughout these years.
Ahí por parte de nuestros compañeros agricultores, ellos también dejan un porcentaje de ganancia de lo que es la recarga de todos los rubros que se obtienen debido a esta demanda.
And some of the agricultural companions, they also help us with leaving a percentage of the work that they gain to the community. So therefore, we are able to support one another.
En la parte de la producción agrícola, que es la parte del campo, toda la producción, todo lo que allí nos organizamos, evidenciamos las necesidades que hayan en la comunidad.
So from the agricultural side, we do support the field work, and we also help one another with all the needs we share in common.
¿No? Nos encontramos 250 familias que están en el trabajo a diario de la organización.
So nowadays we are working with 250 families that are within the organization.
Estamos divididas esas 250 familias en 15 grupos de agricultores.
We are divided within 15 groups of these 250 families.
Nos encontramos 7 unidades de producción y 22 puntos de lo que llamamos nosotros la feria.
So we are divided in 7 production areas, and we divide all the working
o,
together.
o mercados populares donde nos damos, ¿verdad? La comida y lo que es la parte de víveres, precios accesibles para nuestras comunidades.
So all the street markets, we make sure that we divide everything that we produce, so everyone has reach all the products that we are working with.
Cabe destacar que todas estas actividades nosotros hacemos hacemos intercambio para tener la convivencia entre compañeros de las actividades que tenemos.
So all of these activities are shared commonly amongst all of our colleagues.
Semanalmente atendemos aproximadamente 100,000 familias que nos vienen a visitar.
So we are here, we received visitors on a weekly basis also.
Semanal, podemos decir que le vendemos a las personas 500 toneladas de verdura y 650 toneladas de víveres.
So on a weekly basis, we sell 500 tons of vegetables and 650 tons of plants to be planted.
Toda esta tonelada, eso es semanal.
All of these tons of sources are on a weekly basis shared.
Y lo hacemos gracias a la autogestión, no dependemos de un ente externo que nos ayude a hacer estas actividades.
We are totally self-sufficient. We do not depend on any external support.
Ok, gracias.
Thank you.
Hola,
Hi.
soy Ramón Porteles. Sí, bueno, nos adelantamos, pero bueno.
I'm sorry, we got confused.
Soy Ramón Porteles, tengo 4 años
Ramón
en la
Porteles.
organización
Yes.
y bueno, muy grato para nosotros podernos comunicar con ustedes. Lo que
I do
venimos
some admin
conversando,
work and we are happy to speak with you. So what we're going to start with is
lo que venimos conversando pasa mucho por lo que es la esencia de cada cultura, de cada nación.
everything that we have been speaking until now. It's part of the essential part of our work.
Nosotros hablamos de una transformación cultural.
We speak about a cultural transformation.
¿Y por qué se da esto? No solamente lo que hacemos, a lo que nos ve la comunidad que nos visita,
It is not only about the community, what it sees for itself, but also for the communities or people who visit us.
sino en nuestras reuniones, donde podemos escucharnos y escuchar las observaciones que tengamos, las dudas, los planes que podamos plantear para buscar soluciones y alternativas a las situaciones que se nos presenten.
So during our meetings, we self-reflect and we reflect on all the solutions and the needs that we have to commonly decide together.
Ok, vamos no, ahí sí. La anterior,
The one before, yes,
la anterior,
before.
creo que es la lámina 5. Nosotros la tenemos por acá también, la lámina 5.
Page 5, please.
We're getting there.
Ok.
Estamos llegando. ¿Es esa?
Allí sí. Gracias.
Yes, this is the one. Thank you.
Entonces, esa transformación cultural nos lleva, o podemos llegar a ella cuando nos reunimos. Nuestro proceso educativo
This cultural transformation we are only able to reach when we do get together.
aunque se pueda hacer en nuestras reuniones en el día a día,
We can do it on a day-to-day meetings.
se ven reflejadas en que tengamos una actividad sin fines de lucro,
So we do reflect our income through all of these meetings also.
en fijar los precios a un margen que sea mínimo, necesario,
And we work on the margins of the economy of our products to be the minimum necessary.
y por eso hablamos de lo suficiente y lo necesario. No llegar al extremo
That's why we speak about the sufficient and the necessary, to not get into the extreme of prices.
de tener unos costos a la comunidad, sea para un servicio o para un producto, que sean elevados.
To have a service or product that is reachable for the community and also for the people.
Esto lo decidimos en las reuniones.
And everything we decide during the meetings.
Y es por esto que hace unos 2 meses
That's why for the past 2 months,
acordamos reducir nuestros días de ventas a la comunidad de 4 a 3 días por semana.
we have decided to reduce, stop selling for 4 days our products, and we have decided to sell only for 3 days on a weekly basis.
Para que podamos tener el tiempo
Therefore, we can have some spare time
de conversar,
to speak,
reflexionar
to reflect,
y poder tener alternativas ante las cosas que se nos presentan.
and to have some alternatives in advance of the things that might happen,
Sin la orientación meramente comercial.
without the commercial pressure.
Todos los trabajadores asociados de Secocesola
All the social work of Secocesola
percibimos un anticipo
receives an income in advance,
que es equitativo
and it's equally shared
en una cantidad similar
in a quantity that it's similar to,
que no discrimina
that it's not that does not discriminate,
que sea alguien que tenga poco tiempo, mucho tiempo, algo de destreza o poca destreza en alguna actividad.
Oh, it's not shared inequally because people will spend more or less time performing similar or the same task.
Lo que nos permite,
It allows us
de alguna manera, poder integrarnos a muchas actividades dentro de lo que es nuestra organización.
to integrate this practice throughout our organization.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hi,
Mi nombre es Yadira. Quisiera aportar
my
un
name is
poco,
Jamira.
aportar un poco por donde iba por tele. Mi compañero que está acá atrás. El crecimiento de Secocesola ha sido un crecimiento lento, no ha sido un crecimiento de las mágicos. Es un proceso. Perdón.
I would like to share about the growth of Secocesola. It has not been a fast growing process. The contrary, it's been a very slow process. So I'm
Siempre.
going to-
Sí, lo siento.
Sí, sigue.
Ok. Secocesola comienza como funeraria, luego el transporte, del transporte surgieron muchísimas más necesidades y así apareció salud
So we have started with the funerary services, then transport, and then the other services started to coming up the request from our community, and then we have started the health services.
Y ese crecimiento cuantitativo ha sido a través de relaciones con muchísima gente, con muchísimas comunidades.
So this quantitative growth has been performed with many communities.
Pero el crecimiento cualitativo que se ha dado desde el desarrollo de Secocesola fue un proceso que comenzó con algo jerárquico. Había secretaria, tesorero, gerente, ¿no? Todo eso se fue desdibujando con el tiempo.
So with the qualitative growth has started from a hierarchy process, and with the time it has been dismantled.
En la medida que se fue desarrollando y se fue descubriendo el deseo que era, perdón, lo que se quería, que deseábamos, si eran cooperativas convencionales o cooperativas tradicionales, y fuimos cuestionando toda esa serie de preguntas, fue surgiendo la mística que hoy en día sentimos que sostiene a Secocesola. Los fundamentos.
And our desires to transform Secocesola throughout time was to move from a conservative cooperative model into a cooperative model that we wished to be transformed in what we have been working nowadays.
Los fundamentos principales que emergen en nuestras reflexiones, principalmente la solidaridad que ya mencionamos, el apoyo mutuo.
Our solidarity is one of our fundamentals that is being spread throughout the group.
La responsabilidad que cada uno tenemos que tener en el momento que hagamos algo que no sea coherente.
And the self-responsibility that we have to perform most of the time, and it has to be coherent to our work.
Y en ese sentido, cuando podemos cuestionar nuestras acciones y evidenciar que nuestras acciones tienen consecuencias, se va descubriendo entre nosotros ese proceso de transformación cultural del que hablamos.
Therefore, we are able to question our actions and also able to transform our actions into this cultural transformative process.
Y así es como hemos avanzado en todos nuestros espacios, nuestros días a día. Hay momentos que un paso para atrás, dos hacia adelante. Pero
so this is the way that we have been transforming our day-to-day. Sometimes we have taken two steps backwards and one step forward.
Y que cada vez que se incorpora alguien, por ejemplo acá en salud,
every time a new person incorporates into our health system,
donde el sistema académico está más arraigado,
the academic system is availed. ¿Puedes repetir?
Donde el sistema académico está más acentuado.
So the academic it's more evident. Sí.
Necesitamos reflexionar mucho más a fondo cuál es el querer que queremos, que deseamos, porque desdibujar la jerarquía en el sistema académico no es fácil. Para un médico cirujano no es fácil la incorporación.
So to transform hierarchical processes within the academic system is not an easy process. And that's why we have to reflect a lot on our will and wishes to get into the transformative direction we wish.
Y en la medida que vamos buscando esos equilibrios, va llegando la incorporación y va entrando el proceso nuevamente de transformación en cada uno de nosotros.
So by the time that we get into the balance with the process, it is the time that we get this interaction balance process amongst us.
Oh,
La lámina.
La siguiente, lámina.
The next
The
page.
next one, the next page.
tenemos 5 minutos.
5 minutos más.
Aquí,
5 minutos.
can you
A
share
ver,
again?
Ya lo decimos.
Okay.
a ver qué nos contáis en 5 minutos.
Next one. 7 minutos.
La siguiente, por favor.
The next one, please. The next page, please, Jackie.
Nuestra relación. Hola, mi nombre es William.
Hi, my name is William.
Nuestra relación vital es la relación con todos los seres humanos, con las personas que vienen acá a recibir un servicio.
Our vital relationship is it's a relationship that it's wealthily performed with everyone who comes to visit us and amongst us.
Pero nos ha llevado a la reflexión, a la relación con la naturaleza, con el medio ambiente.
And it has driven us to reflect about our relationship with nature.
Con el crecimiento de los mercados populares,
With the growth of the popular street markets,
vimos un incremento de la cantidad de materiales de cartón, plástico, que pudieran entonces pasar a ser dentro de un proceso de reciclaje.
so we have seen an increase on the other materials into these street markets about cardboard, plastics, and there was a clear need of starting recycling.
Y ahí ha comenzado un proceso educativo en ese sentido, de cuidar también la naturaleza.
And therefore, we've started an educational process about nature.
Hemos hecho experiencias en reducción de agrotóxicos,
We have had experiences about agrotoxics,
reforestación,
reforestation,
pero también uno de los puntos fundamentales ha sido, por ejemplo, que en nuestras reuniones
one of the fundamental processes happened during our meetings.
suspendimos el uso de desechables, vasos desechables, platos desechables, donde cada uno debe tener su vaso personal. Eso ha disminuido el consumo de desechables.
So we have eliminated a single-use cups, and we have decided to use our own glasses.
En el momento de las crisis de gasolina, gasoil, hemos aupado el uso de la bicicleta.
During the gas crisis, we have decided to use bicycles as a transport method.
Y un punto muy importante es que no vendemos bolsas plásticas en los mercados.
And another important factor is that we do not sell plastic in our street markets.
A través de una campaña fuimos incentivando a las personas a que lleven su saco, su bolsa, que sea reutilizable.
So throughout a campaign, we have inspired people to use their own bags.
Aproximadamente en estos años que tenemos, hemos sacado cuenta y hemos evitado vender aproximadamente 7 millones de bolsas plásticas.
We have, from that action, we have not used 7 million plastic bags.
Estamos haciendo novedades, estamos instalando un sistema de paneles solares.
And we are implementing solar panels into our community.
Y creamos un grupo llamado Somos Naturaleza, donde ya se discuten ya esa relación de nosotros con la naturaleza.
And we have created a group called We Are Nature to get our relationship into a deeper level with nature.
Bien, soy Jorge. Mucho
I am
gusto.
Jorge.
Como
Pleasure
aquí
to meet you.
de un resumen, me gustaría usar la imagen de un árbol.
So to make a small resume of our presentation, I would like to use an image of a tree.
Nuestras raíces en Secosesola evidentemente están profundizándose cada vez más en la comunidad.
The roots of Secosesola is growing deeper into our community.
El tronco de este árbol, como ya lo hemos escuchado varias veces, es la autogestión.
The trunk of the tree is our self-management part of Secosesola.
Y ahí es importante de tener claro que nuestras reuniones son la única estructura formal que queda en nuestra organización.
Therefore, our meetings is the unique formal structure that it's present within our organization nowadays.
Y son 3,000 reuniones al año.
Therefore, it's 3,000 meetings yearly.
Ajá. Entonces, las ramas de este árbol apuntan en la dirección de la transformación personal, porque no es solo hacer servicio, sino cómo lo hacemos.
So the branches of this tree, the tree is not only about how, it's not about what we do, it's about a self-transformation on how we do things.
¿Ah? Y cómo parte del respeto mutuo, parte de asumir responsabilidades, tiene también la característica que nuestras decisiones se toman por consenso, no hay votaciones.
There is no voting process. It's about consents, our decisions, and it's about common respect and self-respect.
Y bueno, cuando vemos el árbol como un toro, entonces podemos apreciar que abarcamos las fundamentales necesidades de la vida, desde el nacimiento hasta la muerte.
When we see the tree as a whole, that's when we see the whole life cycle from the birth moment of ourselves until the death.
Y también como nosotros cultivamos estas relaciones de
So how we maintain now these relationships are
mutuo respeto,
mutual respect,
de transparencia,
transparency,
de responsabilidad.
responsibility.
Entonces, este árbol, todo esto lo hace como hacen los árboles, transforman el CO2 en oxígeno.
So this tree is just like the trees from nature. It transforms CO2 into oxygen.
Y nuestra irradiación hacia la comunidad es así, es la transformación cultural de nuestras relaciones de convivencia.
So that's how we irradiate our cultural transformation into our essence level.
Bueno, y solo para recordar, son 33,000 acuerdos funerarios.
So just to remind you also, it's 33,000 funeral services.
Son 270,000 personas enfermas atendidas en salud.
270,000 people with medical needs being attending our health system.
Y en nuestros mercados semanalmente llegamos a un encuentro comunitario con 100,000 familias.
And on a weekly basis, we meet 100,000 families.
Esto ha construido una relación de confianza profunda.
That has built a profound trust relationship.
Cuando en el año 2019, durante 5 días, no hubo electricidad en todo el país.
We haven't had electricity in all country.
Y tampoco había dinero efectivo.
And therefore there was a lack of money, of bills.
Y nosotros encontramos con la comunidad a un acuerdo de llevarse comida y servicio de salud fiado.
So we have worked on a system to deliver food and transportation without a payment. So there will be a later payment from the families.
Lleve su alimento y pague cuando pueda.
Take your food and pay whenever you can.
Y el 98% de todo esto ha sido pagado después.
And 98% of all of these services have been paid later on.
Wow. Para esto, una muestra de lazos de profunda confianza comunitaria.
This is a demonstration of a profound relationship through our community.
Bueno, esto es el árbol. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Jorge. Tan bonito. Me gusta mucho escucharte. For me, it's super, super beautiful and really important work because of this is like personal growth, right? It's active community building. We need to continue with a panel. I'm just going to ask one question, which is about puedo traducir también, que es con la relación con el gobierno, o si hay cualquier grupos de fuera que han causado disrupciones o problemas. No sé lo que pueden hablar. Just whether there have been any, pressures from outside groups, or, whether there is harmony with the government, like how is this, how is that whole system? And then we really need to move on. Y después tenemos que seguir. Gracias.
Bueno, Secosesol ha vivido experiencias institucionales bastante que dejó huellas que de una u otra manera pudieron se pudo entender que desde el poder contra el poder no se podía y es ¿sí? ¿Entiende? Okay.
Can you translate you? Can you?
Yes. So our past relationship with the with the government has left us some footprints that has deepened our local experiences over here in Secosesol.
Y desde la época del transporte hemos entendido que las relaciones con el Estado tienen que ser desde el respeto.
And we have understood that our relationship, mainly about the transport, was based on respect.
Y que nosotros seguimos nuestro camino como siempre lo hemos hecho, comunitario, abierto y transparente. No escondemos nada.
And we have decided to carry on with our way of doing things in a communitary way, on a transparent way, and respectful way.
Nos pegamos a las leyes cooperativas, la ley cooperativa aquí funciona perfectamente.
We have been supported and based on the cooperative laws locally because they do work locally here.
O sea, aportamos a la institución en el momento que era necesario para la creación de las mismas leyes.
And we also have placed some fund to expand these laws.
Y en la actualidad, si hay un servicio que el Estado necesite de nuestra parte y podamos intercambiar, nosotros prestamos, lo hacemos.
So we exchange also some services with the government.
Provide services, I think.
Provide services as well.
Muchísimas gracias. Vamos a continuar. Y si puedes volver al canal español, no podemos, can we clap? Can we all clap? Thank you so much. This is really, beautiful work. It's the inner work, es el trabajo interno y la reflexión y la conversa, pero de manera muy productiva y pragmática. There is also this practical, pragmatic side of, it's the inner development, the community development, meeting community needs, para proveer las necesidades de la comunidad. Muchas gracias, muchísimas gracias. We're going to go back to English, and if you speak Spanish, si hablas español, hay el planeta en la barra de Zoom y tienes que volver al canal español de Spanish.
Interpretación. La segunda.
Interpretación, sí, es Spanish. Muchas gracias, muchas gracias. Yay. Un sueño, un sueño. It's been my dream to do this for a long time. So it's amazing. Now I'd love to invite the amazing panelists. Because we wanted to bring the perspective of Venezuela and the Global South, but marry that with perspectives of people that have been, that are also practicing different flavors of bioregionalism. And I'd love to invite Brendan Letzinger from Regenerate Cascadia in the Pacific Northwest of the US. Where is Brendan? There, Brendan, and has been organizing around bioregional identity and place-based systems for nearly 20 years. Then a dear friend and also flow funder for Be the Earth, part of the Wisdom Keeper Council with Be the Earth, Fabiana Maia from the Terra Luminous Institute in Brazil, a regenerative hub that's right at the beginning of their bioregional organizing to protect the Atlantic rainforest. And two amazing practitioners of bioregioning, Erica Zarate and Oscar Gussinier from Resilience.Earth, also a super pleasure to host them. And they are a cooperative based in Catalonia, facilitating bioregioning processes for almost 20 years, focused on community-led regenerative governance, land stewardship, and place-sourced economies. And as I said, we don't want to spend lots of time defining the topic, but more listen to the stories and get to the practice. So let's start. And I think even before you tell us about your work, I'm going to do a quick round for you to tell me the highlight of the Seco Sesola talk, just so we can create some meaning after that presentation. So maybe even before you talk about your work, what stayed with you from this conversation? And I think, Jackie, if you can all open your microphones, let's start with Oscar, Erica, Brandon, and Fabi. Oscar, a short highlight of Seco Se Sola, what stayed with you? And then Erica, Brandon, and Fabi.
Bueno, es un proyecto impresionante, ¿no? O sea, sobre todo por la cantidad de relaciones que tienen que generar a lo largo de tanto tiempo, ¿no? Y sí, impresionante.
Yeah.
Un referente.
Very impressed because of all the relationships that have to be built in order to do that. Erica?
Again, putting on my Indigenous hat, what I really appreciated was the relationship to this deep an ecosystemic culture that is kind of the underlining matrix that is kind of allowing this cooperative to be so self-generating and just very inspiring, really.
Brandon and Fabi.
Yeah, I think what really stood out to me was the power of being able to provide services during collapse. And I think that there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And then also I think the processes and approach that they took to doing.
And Fabi, what stayed with you?
Oh, for me, what hit me was the scale, like making decisions with like 3,000 people, and we do it in a very small scale at the Halloumi. So it brings me hope that it's possible to scale up a very sociocratic and horizontal process of decision making.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you. I think for me, it's the depth. I think it's rare that you see something that scales deep and scales wide at the same time. And I think they managed to do that. For me, that's the key here, is being able to scale wide and scale deep. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Now let's talk about how, this is such an amazing case study of a group that has been working for nearly 60 years. And I'd love to hear about, and we can see the practice that they've been involved in. So I'd love for you to share with us a little bit about the work that you're doing through your organization. And we can start with Resilience.Earth. What is the work that you're doing, and how is that role contributing to the ideas of bioregioning? Like, what's the link?
So maybe I'll just start very quickly explaining what we do, and then Oscar can use that link, translate it into a bioregioning approach. So we work with, actually we did the recent calculation in December. So we've done over 400 community-based projects, over 3,200 community processes. And what we do effectively is when a community or a municipality really cannot manage to sort out a big problem, they phone us. We're jokingly calling ourselves the firefighters of community resilience. And so we work with the cooperative movement. So we've supported the ecosystem articulation of dozens of new cooperatives, as well as just the strengthening of the cooperative sector, as well as bioregional governance and or regenerative governance, and obviously the social economic sector, and also collective storytelling with the community to kind of embed this cultural transformation that Ramon was speaking about, that is really so key, I think, in making that paradigm shift from egocentric to ecocentric, or ego-systemic to ecosystemic. So I'll pass it to Oscar.
Sure. Yeah, maybe adding on that, we work from a perspective that we most of the places where we live in are part of a centralized system, that now it's moving to a decentralization. But bioregioning, it's probably something that it's beyond decentralization. It goes to distribution, and then probably even further, no, to put the place in the center. Like Eco Se Sola is a perfect example of it. And when we working on the place and we work towards working in municipalities, normally municipalities are in a highly reactive space, just trying to fix the many challenges that are in way higher proportions than something that they can actually face. And then what we do is to try to link them together to be able to face these challenges from an appropriate relationship, and at the same time trying to bring much more methodologies, like many of the things that Ecosocial was sharing, like decision making, articulating people, inner work, and different mechanisms for the people to be able to articulate among them to face these challenges, not only from one municipality, but through a valley or through a wider region, that they can actually then strategize and generate economy around facing these challenges from a regenerative perspective. No? But yeah.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, just like we heard from Ecosocial and where you're talking about, and from what I know as well from Fabi, it's the inner capacities, like being able to work on, you know, as you were saying, what did you say about the emergency, the resilience for the community, the emergency? I think that the crafting, the training, the building capacity, that's an evolving capacity of that system to be able to, you know, work together. I think it's super interesting. And I love what you said around go beyond decentralization, which assumes there is a central entity that is decentralizing into full distribution where you don't even know everything that's happening. You know, it's impossible. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Brendan, I would love to hear about Regenerate Cascadia, all the huge movement. I think the Cascadia bioregion is quite famous within this movement. Yeah, and what is the practice? What's the day-to-day of bioregioning?
Sure. And yeah, just if people aren't familiar, so the Cascadia bioregion is just an area, as we talk about it, defined through the Columbia, Fraser, and Snake Rivers. And it's the Pacific Northwest of the United States, but also the Pacific Southwest of Canada. So all along the North Pacific Rim, from Southeast Alaska down to Northern California, and as far east as Yellowstone and the Rockies. Like Venezuela, I think it's also a huge area. And so what's really exciting is that this is an idea and a movement that has been growing here, maybe since the 1970s and the 1980s. And similarly, I think this idea of governance is really interesting. And so it actually grew through a series of bioregional congresses in the mid-1980s and kind of launched this bioregional movement, which has been growing here. More recently, Regenerate Cascadia was actually launched through a bioregional activation tour. And we traveled to communities throughout Cascadia, really in two areas, the Salish Sea and the Willamette Valley, really meeting and talking with people doing regenerative work, and indigenous elders, bioregional elders, people really out there touring site visits, dam removals. And what became very apparent is that people are doing the work, but we're doing it in a very isolated way and people aren't being supported. And so the work of Regenerate Cascadia has been working with several hundreds of people since then to really grow this idea and really start to see people supported in doing this work and also visualizing the bioregion and ourselves to each other. And so a lot of our day-to-day work is really helping educate people about bioregional frameworks and bioregionalism, helping people break out of nation-state identities and arbitrary lines on maps, which I think we've gotten very rooted in, especially for our political and economic systems. And then within that, it's helping build a bioregional identity. And so that's really just helping people reconnect into the story of their places, helping people really develop place-based ways of living that celebrate the unique context of where we live and seeing people supported in that. And then it's really about seeing people financed and supported, and really more than anything else, breaking down silos so that people can really think about themselves as part of a larger picture and on the scale of a landscape, on the scale of a watershed, on the scale of an ecoregion or bioregion. And when that shift happens, it's really beautiful, and it starts to bring people together to collaborate in ways that they weren't able to before, and we all have special niches. And so I think also with decentralization, we can also talk about activating our collective intelligence and really about how we can empower every person to be a part of that.
Thanks, Brendan. Yeah, when you say this, the metaphor that comes in my head a lot is like the connective tissue, right? So there are so many people and movement and things happening. It's like, how do you bring them together? How do you create the connective tissue? And how do you start collecting the shared stories and then the shared identity, as you said it. And identity is so important because it meets a very deep human need for belonging and, you know, identifying with also with the ecology, which I think is very important there. Thank you so much. And then Fabi, I wanted to bring you not only because you're a friend and I'm on the board of Terra Luminous, but also because I think we often hear from people that are very advanced and that have been doing this for a long time. And I think when I think about the project in Brazil and the community in Brazil, it's like it's the focal point that is then, you know, coalescing and moving in the landscape. And I think it's important to hear from that, you know, in initiating peace. So I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing that goes beyond the boundaries of the project itself? Yeah. Who's starting?
Thank you very much. Yeah, let's first start with what is Terra Luminous Institute. So we are an NGO co-founded by me and other friends in 2016. And we all live in an eco-village founded by us in this territory. We are highly educated people, urban people that are in the transition movement. And so we are quite different from our neighbors, who are people who are the local community, right? So it's the challenges here is how can we interact and break these cultural blockages that are there in a decolonized approach, because this is the hardest for us. How can we offer social environmental programs that is not only from our mental model of what is the best approach, but also establishing a very deep listening with the local community. And so we do a very good job in our 270 hectares that belong to the Institute in the Atlantic Forest. We are 70 kilometers away from São Paulo city. We are in the regional, like the metropolitan region of São Paulo, which has 21 million people living. And we are in a watershed protection area, which has 76% of forest cover. So we are in the greener region of the metropolitan area of São Paulo that also is the poorest one. So our challenge here is to develop the standing forest economy without being like the colonizers who are bringing this economic approach. So it's much more connected to the BNDES concept, and this is like what we're doing.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. And then we're going to explore that a little bit. I think one really interesting thing that you started doing is because I think it's super important to think about the buffer zones of high priority habitats and how do you do bioregioning and you know community support and growth in this really important buffer zones of high priority habitats, and that really you know tension between economic development and doing something with high integrity that is really regenerative and bringing people along together. So yeah, and I know you've mapped a big like biodiversity corridor and belts, but in a very how can I say conservative place as well. So yeah, we'll explore that in a little bit. So I also wanted this to be a conversation. We don't have tons of time left. So I think one of the things that we all talked about governance and engagement and the work of the people. And one of the questions that I have for us to discuss a little bit is like, how do you engage the community? I think one of the trickiest bits, it's actually getting everyone together and engaging and creating something that, you know, pulls people in and then working on the decision making. So I'd love to hear more about what does that practice look like where you are? Brendan, I don't know if you want to start, or Eric or Fabi. Brendan, maybe?
Sure. Well, just to jump in, I mean, I think you're highlighting a really important issue, which is I think in a lot of places, we've actually given over control to a lot of the processes that are really important in our lives. And so I think when you were touching on the idea of this kind of interstitial core capacity we talk about that a lot, that we actually have to spend a lot of time regrowing this interconnective tissue that has kind of decayed over a lot of time. And I think we have, for a large part, forgotten how to work together. And so the way that we're approaching this is that we need spaces where we get to try and practice and fail, and then get back up and try and practice and fail together. And I think what's exciting, though, is that, again, the way that we're really looking at this is that when you can bring people together on these landscapes, it shifts the conversation and out of the context of one organization or another, but rather than how are we all working together for a more healthy ecosystem and biodiversity and right livelihood for the people and inhabitants of that place. So for us, I mean, I think what we're really looking at is this pathway, using also this idea of, we call it bioregional mapping, which is a process that invites communities to come together and talk about the things that are important to them, that are often left off of traditional maps or Google Maps or government maps or nation state maps, or these road maps that are developed with agents, with agenda and purpose, and where our needs actually aren't being represented in. So if we can't represent our own realities to each other or to policymakers, then how can we expect to get there? And so part of this then also becomes inviting people together and scale that landscape to really start to think about bioregional regeneration strategies, helping develop portfolios of projects of regenerative work happening in the landscape that needs to be supported. But also, as part of that process, what voices are missing, and who are the largest impactors that we need to talk with and address. And then from that, we can start to talk about then the more practical terms of then how are we building these bioregional financing facilities or funding ecosystems that can really flow in support, and also in a way that's multi-capital, that's not just focused or rooted in money, but that really supports people in right livelihood, doing the work that the world needs. And I would also just like to center that when we're talking about governance, I think oftentimes we can get very hyper-focused in on the human existence. But I think one of the powers of bioregional governance and what we're talking about is how do we start to center non-human inhabitants and voices as part of this process as well.
Wonderful. I had that question coming later. Like, how do we actually bring the more than human, their voices to the table? Yeah, and there's some amazing work being done with, nature rights, but also with, I forgot the word that I'm trying to remember. Like, not archetypes, I forgot, but like, how do you actually, bring in very tangible ways the voice of the river and the voice of the forest? Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And Erica and Oscar, about Resilience.Earth, like, what is the engagement and the governance aspect of this? Like, how do you bring people, you say that now people call you, to whenever there is a problem. How did you get there?
I think that one of the things that we actually have in common with Brandon and with Ecosola is actually that all of us are working from being from the community, that we're not outside of the community, we're not going to work on a community. Everyone is talking of like, we are part of this community and articulating and engaging the other members of our community in an emancipation and co-responsibility process. No? And I think that's a key point from this bioregioning process. And the other thing that is very important for us, when you understand that the community, it's what you're part of, it's that the polarizations are the key point where, or the leverage point where you can evolve. Then when we have like, even we talk a lot about that, these bioregioning processes are post-ideologic. If even you have like a right-wing voice that it's really loud, maybe what you need to do is to hear what's beyond that really right-wing voice, because it's a part of your community that it's yelling, no? And then we have to bring it to a reconciliatory process, but because it's a part of us, no? It's expressing a part of us. It's expressing a pain of our own community, and trying to, like, with Erica, and I pass you the word now, like reconciliation, it's the leading edge of bioregioning. Erica?
I just got really excited, sorry. No, maybe we'll just go a little bit backwards, because we were sensing from, like, as we started officially as Resilience.Earth Cooperative, we were a different type of cooperative before, but we were like feeling that governance was obviously a huge leverage point, but we did a study some years back and with over 2,000, it was a very deep study, over 2,000 respondents. And it was a complete overwhelming consensus that the biggest leverage point was governance at the bioregional scale. That people felt that their voice was not being heard, but that if they were able to participate in decision-making processes, they would be able to contribute meaningfully, collectively towards regenerating our land. Oscar says we are all from the land. I feel very adopted. There are 14 of the 15 of us are very from the land, and I've been accepted.
In Catalonia, that's a big thing to say. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. No, language is important, and culture, and also maybe this is a good link in terms of this reconciliation approach. So I was coming more from Indigenous communities, and where there's no good or bad, black or white in conflict resolution and reconciliation processes. And this is something that we've really brought in and adapted, not copy paste, but adapted to the processes that we accompany, to really truly be able to hear the depth of the differences and the pain also. Like we also talk about bioregioning as also a community healing process and healing process. I mean, there's a huge upswing of the extreme, well, the far right in our region, which is unfortunately really parallel with an influx of a lot of newcomers fleeing climate change and war. And so there's so what we're doing is we work following, very inspired by John Paul Lederach's understanding of critical East. I don't know if you know that concept. If you don't, I encourage you to read his poetic masterpiece, which is called The Art and Soul of Building Peace, The Moral Imagination. Anyway, so he talks about how, like, to really embed social transformation, you need to reach the critical mass of the community or the nation. But I mean, that's an 11% of the community or the country. I mean, that's a lot of people to reach their heart and move them. And so what he was noticing is that there was an extremely accelerated uptake when there was a different approach to accelerating this critical mass, which was like making bread of social change, which you need a little bit of critical yeast to activate that critical mass. And that critical yeast, though, has to be very representative of all the different voices of that bioregion. So, for example, and I accept, we all have veins of racism inside us, but I would jokingly say to the people who are hiring us to deal with a racist problem, I would say, like, I need all types of racists in my critical yeast group to test things out before we really are able to amplify to the regional or national scale, because we need to be able to understand the subtlety of what all of these voices are bringing, because all of them are stewarding an ingredient that we need to be able to govern collectively and really steward our communities and land as land towards greater integrity. That was a long answer, but I will pass it then back to you, Ruth, and then Fabi.
And Fabi, again, I think I actually wanted to reserve some time. I mean, we don't have a lot of time left, so I will jump to this part. I think, that, as you mentioned, that like beginning to become the community, right? And to convene the community and to be able to support the community. I'd love to hear from Oscar, Erica, or Brandon. What question would you ask Fabi to help her think, how to really grow the capacity of her team and the team around it to think in ways that heal the community and heal the land? Because we're talking about a massive area of rainforest that needs protecting. And we're talking about illegal logging, there is drug trafficking, there is, illegal land grab. It's like, it's a challenging region. What question would you ask in terms of like, where do you start? How do you connect? What what questions would you ask her? Oscar?
Maybe I would go for like for me, one of the most important things is like that everything that happens outside, it's an expression of myself. And then that I have to first reconcile it in myself to before I act, no? Because if not, I'm reacting. And maybe a question is like, are you planning to create enough space for that kind of moments and to capacity yourself for that process?
Fabi?
Yes, that's a really good question. Actually, nowadays, there is a strong debate among us. We are 14 people living in our eco-village, and in our Terra Luminos ecosystem is around 30 people. And we're deeply talking about how we face racism in our daily basis decision making. So we have some employees at Terra Luminos that work. We have our hotel operation, like a retreat center. So we are strongly debating and dialoguing how can, like, they are community members from the local community and they work for us in this very colonized still way of power structure. So we're first of all looking at ourselves and how we relate to the local community members that work at Terra Luminos and how we can break all these tremendous barriers, cultural, social barriers that are among us. So this is like the first topic that we are facing deeply. It's not easy at all, very hard to break 500 years of slavery and domination and oppression without being the white saviors also, archetype, like connecting with this archetype of the white saviors. We're completely open to see how patriarchy is established in ourselves, and this is being a regenerative culture base as we nominate ourselves, right? Starts from the beginning. Very good question, and yes, we are open in space for that. Thank you.
And folks, whenever Regenerosity is hosting anything, we always go into these places that are they're a little bit more real. Great. And unfortunately, we need to come to an end. So I'm going to do a final round, and I just love you to share what is the question that I haven't asked that you would like to answer, and then we'll wrap up this conversation. I wish we had infinite time. And I'm going to start with you again, Brendan. Like, what do you think? What is a good way to end this conversation about bioregioning in practice? You mentioned the more than human. We talked about governance, engaging others, doing the inner work so we can do the outer work, becoming community. What is something you want to bring to the table as we wrap this up?
Sure. Yeah, I think just inspired by the recent conversation, and I think the one thing I'd love to hear centered a little bit that I don't think we really touched on too much is maybe what could be the role of intergenerational healing, and specifically in working with youth to help invite them in to heal trauma of communities, and then really help shift dialogue towards healing and reconciliation. So I'll end with that.
Wonderful. I loved what you said about identifying what are the voices that are missing and make sure that, they are actively invited in. Fabi, your final words. And I know you're also doing amazing work with, recycling cooperatives and, the council and schools.
And environmental education also. Yeah. I think what is for me is how can we express and share the loving relationship we have with nature. That's our main goal when we share in environmental education, when we are dealing with the recycling cooperative, also with the least privileged people in the society, people that work with garbage and have no education at all. So we connect when we share this effective, loving relationship with nature. This is the way, probably, this is our common denominator with people that have very different cultural and social backgrounds.
Thank you. That's beautiful. And I think in a lot of bioregional organizing, that common, like the physical systems, the nature systems, the waterways, the trees, the forest, I think that is a common, like the identity, going back to the identity, right? Ultimately, they are forest people and it's a forest community. Thank you for your vulnerability and like being the group that, because I wanted this because bioregioning sometimes it starts with a group that is interested and then you have to go through many steps to be able to do this. And I'd like to finish with Oscar and Erica. What would you like to contribute that I haven't asked and you would like to share?
Yeah, no, maybe it's just something quick and but like won't get into it, food for thought. But we work with bioregioning also as a deeply decolonizing process. So again, like really inspired by what Seco Sisola was saying, I feel was also, challenging us to step up, really question some ways of thinking. And and so what are the ways of thinking or patterns that we've kind of accepted as is, that if we question them could also change how we relate to each other and how we relate to land and as land.
Wonderful. Oscar?
Erica said it, but maybe I would just say that for me, decolonizing is a synonym of rerouting ourselves.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Folks, I'll ask Faith and Jackie to put in the chat all the links and link to Regenerosity and Nurture. We're going to put like our donate button so we can keep doing more of this. And I think I'm actually going to change the agenda and end with Seco Sisola. So Jackie, if you can end the interpretation and we can just say hello, say hello, say goodbye and let them finish with the last words.
One last thing, Ruth, can we also mention that this is a series of webinars, so please, please stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And thank you for like holding in this super big agenda. Seco Sisola, friends, puedes dar, lo que quieres decir antes de todos salirmos. ¿Dónde están?
Sí, es posible, brevemente. Me parece muy importante, quiero tomar en cuenta lo que dijo Oscar, en el sentido que nosotros nos proponemos ir aprendiendo como proceso de ser cada vez más parte de la comunidad y parte de la naturaleza. Y esto va estableciendo la posibilidad de un nuevo pensamiento del poder. No es el poder sobre, sino el poder hacer juntos. Y en este sentido,
Un minuto. I just want to go back to something that Oscar said, and I really, which is this idea of how do we become more community and how do we become more nature, and then we begin to change the power, and instead of it being power with, is the power of doing together.
Y entonces ahí, en esto estamos, es nuestro reto también, pero ahí día a día estamos construyendo aquí y ahora el mundo que queremos.
And then this is also our challenge before us. Day to day, we're building here and now the world that we want. Thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Thank you
so much.
Gracias.
Yeah, this has been a beautiful gathering of really beautiful souls. Thank you so much. We're all coming to Venezuela to visit you when we can, when politically it's okay.
We wait for you.
Great. Muchas gracias. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Join it. Please connect with Regenerosity.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ustedes. Gracias.
Podemos hacer esto de nuevo una otra hora.
Muy bien.
Muchas gracias.
Estamos en contacto. Muy bien.
Yeah, muy
Gracias,
contenta.
chicos. Sois
Ok,
fantásticos.
chao.
Un beso
Luego.
enorme.
Gracias.
Gracias por tu labor, Juliana.
Gracias a vosotros. Sois fenomenal. Un gusto, un gusto. Beso, beso.
Bien.
Thank you. Really beautiful. Oh,
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the panels and guests and facilitators. Thank you, Faith. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
There really was something
Amazing.
phenomenal here.
Yeah, excellent.
I joined